real mad. You know, they mad they got to see you every day. They mad that you still ain't shaking, you ain't moved, you still in your position, you still in your authority, you're still in the destiny, the path. Did I just say identity? Did I say identity? Yeah, Rich Rising, yes. Now we speaking. Yes. And they so mad, y'all. We have to wake up and do this. Like, this is our duty. You know, like, we can't just not do this. You know, this is really one of our traditions, you know, and they hoping and banking that we don't follow through with this. You know, they're like, I just hope and I just pray that he and she just will not just show up today. And the devil is a liar. You're going to see us every day. This is what these devils don't understand. You're going to see it. You have to. You know, you got to acknowledge this every day. You know, like they act like they have a choice. You don't have a choice. You know, there's something that they have to get used to. You know, because at a point they really thought that they could play God in your life. You know what I'm saying? They thought that they can be like your handler and they can make decisions for you based off of how they feel, what makes them feel comfortable. I'm talking about these demons. And they didn't understand that you actually don't have the power to orchestrate somebody's life and who they are and who they're supposed to become, do, get. This is what it's coming down to, you guys. Like, literally, Most High just called me just to ish on these devils this morning and let them know that you need to stay in your place. Stop trying to play God in, you know, all these divine ones' life. Like, who are you at the end of the day? Like, you're nothing to be put as of you have some type of option of choice to even go about doing it. I'm telling you, they really thought in their mind that, you know, I have the say so. So they was really moving like they had to say so. Until the reality check hit them. And they was like, oh, I don't have the say so. Like, I really can't stop this one from receiving this and getting this and stopping them from moving into this door. Like, I don't have the authority. Like, I really don't have the power for that. This is like the reality check of your op folks. Like, they're not doing well, not just the karma, but the reality of what their position actually was. They thought that they was the head and you was the tail. But they didn't read Deuteronomy and what it stated that you was the head and they was the tail. You was above this whole entire time and they was beneath. You was always the front top of it all. Always. But you played your cards very well. You know, like, you had the personality for it. And like I always say, that's why the Most High, he never make any mistakes of who he pick, who he choose. You know, it's the humbleness that you give that make people feel as though, you know, they have somewhat of a power to overtake you based off of how they feel of what you giving. Until they actually step into the field and they understand, you know, they position according to who you are. Remember what we talked about last night? It's like you have to check folks. You have to. It ain't no playing nice. You feel me? Like, it ain't no, okay, I could deal with her and, you know, kill her with kindness. You know, and do no. Not when it comes to demons. Demons, you can't deal with them and according to what you think of. You got to deal with them as of checking them in the field. deal with the demons a certain way, okay? And I'm pretty sure the Most High already trained you, and he already told you, how to deal with each and every one, because they feel as though they you. And I'm talking about demons here. Understand that there's levels and there's rankings to this thing. And who is your opposition was demons. They tried to replace you. They tried to devour you, destroy you, and that's not what the Most High has set you as. He didn't set you in the level amongst demons. He set you in high places. He spoke, and he expects you to deliver on where he had placed you in. So it's basically all in the awakening of where the Most High had placed you, like where you need to step into according to your authority. According to the crown that he had placed on your head individually. So you got to go seeking for the knowledge of who the Most High has created you as, placed you as. Because if you don't, you may let a demon overtake you. You may look at a demon as if they have authority over you, and you're supposed to be submitted to this thing, to this parasite, this bug. So the Most High allowed you to sit, in places, in dark places around these parasites, so that you get a clue. You understand that you're not in these brackets as these parasites. And it's nothing to be cocky. It's no pride. It's no ego. It's awakening. All divine ones down here, you are called to awaken. There's a lot of awakenings that you have to do. Because down here is a delusion. And around here is a bunch of characters that are around you to put you to keep you asleep. They watching. They haven't woke up yet. So they around playing based off of capitalizing on you sleep. They even give you rewards for being asleep. And then they make it seem as though, as you are awakening and you're walking into truth, of who you are and what was for you and all these things, incredible things about you. They tried to dehumanize it. Like they tried to make it as it being somewhat like of a curse. Yes. Yep, we are discussing, spiritual lessons, and overcoming. Yeah, we are. But I want to capitalize on awakening. Like you're going to hear a lot of that are coming from me, because they did their job of putting people to sleep down here and having people walk in false identities, having people feel a certain way about themselves, what you're not supposed to feel about yourself, looking at other people in different brackets of authority and rankings, and they don't have that. It was you the whole time. You were that. Like I told you guys before, you guys are the main character down here. Once you waking up, things will be granted, granted to you. It's like a box when you wake it up, and you actually walk into your true identity, and, you awaken to all these things about you, and, you actually get your stuff. When you awaken, you actually get the things that you was waiting on. This is why these devils, they work so hard so that you won't awaken, because they know what comes along with it. The Most High promised you things, and he's waiting on when you gonna wake up. He cannot give you those things if you're in a false identity and you don't know who you are. So he sends you in the wilderness, and you got to learn all these, lessons, and you got to awaken. And who's helping you awake? Your enemies, your op folks. They keep provoking you, and they keep, and then it activates you. It activates you on a high level. And once you stay in it, as long as you stay, in it, the more you get activated, and the more you start, busting up out of that delusion. And then the Most High say, oh, okay, now you seeing folks for who they is. You seeing where the Most High had put you at, what power you actually have, what authority you actually have. It was you, like, oh, it was me this whole time. Nobody didn't have power over me. Nobody didn't have control over me. You start witnessing actually, who you was the whole entire time. So it's a must that you must wake up. Because you start putting things over you that's never supposed to even be by you, period. Never wasn't even supposed to be existence. Ma'am, sir. What are we speaking of? And they know this, but they're banking on you being asleep. So they hire all these witches, to do these spells and cast all this, these, witchcraft on you, so that you wouldn't wake up. You would still stay foggy. These witches, they have to work overtime, but they pay them to do that. But they work overtime to keep you asleep. I mean, they work night and day on your behalf. That's why, you must wake up. Because they got a lot of people counting on your downfall of staying asleep. But as long as you're around them, they're going to provoke you to activate and wake up. Because it's things that they're going to do that's going to bring that inner beast out of you. Because you're going to get sick and tired of them. Because they be going to be doing too much. And it's going to constantly keep fueling you. Every last divine one have to go through this. There's no one that's going to get away with not waking up down here. You have to. Because what happens is they put you in an identity that's false, that's not yours. They dress you up in something that you're not. And then they do spells to try to get you to actually believe that's who you are, and that's what you're supposed to be walking in. And then you end up going down a road where you start, something just don't feel right, and you already start getting triggered, and that's when your awakening start. Because you start realizing, man, this ain't me. This is not my road. This is not who I am. This ain't for me. You start witnessing that. Something in you start cracking. And you start getting even more, activated by just your thought. Hold up, this ain't right. It started off as a thought, like, nah, this is something going on with this. This ain't me. This is not for me. This ain't the life for me. This is not the identity. This is not the destiny. This is not the path. I don't know what this is, but this ain't it. You start looking around and you start seeking. It was just that thought first, and then it came into a whole seeking for something, because something don't make sense. Who trying to run some on me? I'm telling you, they put you in a false hole, everything just fake, false. And then really was banking that you would really fall for it, though. They had you thinking oh, we gotta just keep running that witchcraft. We running them spell works, They try to convince to you that, yeah, this is it. This is you, and this is what you, your identity and your life and all this. They really tried to run that game on you. And while somebody else try to become you and try to get what you have and walk in your identity and walk in your destiny, while you over there in a false identity and a false life that's made up, somebody made up for you. It's sick, but this is what happens to every divine one. I'm talking about put you in a place and around a bunch of demons that are going to continue to run that spell and that delusion on you until you get programmed to it. Till they feel as though you are programmed and this is they actually got a sight of this is it. So they'll run that program on you for years until you get actually programmed to that program. That meaning that's all you know. That's what's been happening to you. That's what you've been seeing. That's what you're used to. You're accustomed to. This is what they try to do. And you still woke up. You was like, nah, this ain't me. This is not me. You start getting them dreams. You start getting them visions. You know, the Most High was in, like, you know, in big and speaking to you. You know, of no, this is not it. This is fake. This is false. Really tried to charm in on capitalizing that these folks is really trying to get you, you know, docile into this fake reality and this fake identity that they placed on you. And you walking around here like Joseph with the coat of many colors on. And they trying to program you to walk to, like, taking you out of that identity that the Most High have given you. You know, they tried to work overtime. Y'all know the experiences that y'all had with them. They trying to do that to you. And then everybody that came in your life, they tried to continue to milk you down even further. Then putting you in situations to make it clear that, oh yeah, you know, this is really what it is. By putting you in situations. But they didn't understand you conquered this and beast those situations. So you start actually realizing that, hold up, let me figure out who I'm actually is. Because I'm actually, I feel as though I'm purposely getting placed in situations. Like, this is purposely happening to me. You know, like, they don't even try to, like, balance it out to make it seem as though, you know, this is, you know, this may just be, they overdid it to where, you know, they made it where you can wake up fast because it looked like it's purposely done. It looked like somebody was targeting you. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, they didn't do it as of a way of trying to get you not to figure it out. They did it in a way like they just they went too far to where you start putting the pieces together because you start figuring out easy the way they was doing it. They didn't do it in a way that made you feel as though this person ain't gonna figure this out. Let me just throw a rock, you know, in their road every now and then. They just kept throwing rocks back to back. You like, oh yeah, okay, something's up. Something's up here. You know, they made it obvious that they were trying to do this. Like, they were trying to, you know, target you and try to slow you down and try to block you. And it made you, you know, go into a hunt of, who am I? Because if I got these people up here doing this, I need to figure out who I am. You know, I gotta. And then that's when as you kept seeking, the Most High kept showing up and showing you. You know, because you were like, yeah, this is definitely happening. You know, somebody is really, you know, trying to stop me. I mean, a bunch of people. So now I got to figure out why. Like, what is the big deal? What is so important? What is it that serious? You know, until the Most High had, you know, you start going on this hunt of, and you start finding information, you was like, oh, wow, this is crazy. You start comparing yourself to folks in the Bible. You start comparing yourself to Job. You start comparing yourself to Joseph, David, you know, Christ, Yah himself, you know, on the history of what took place. You know, so you had to get back on this path. You have to step back and, you know, in your identity first. You have to snatch your identity back. Then you got to snatch your authority, your power, you know, the position. You have to get back on your chair. You have to snatch back your crown. Put the crown back on your head. They try to take the crown off your head. And they try to crucify you like Christ. And they tried to throw you in the gate. Like, get up out of here. Like try to strip you from your whole identity, right? You naked, right? And then they just try to throw you somewhere in some abandoned place, right? And have you get accustomed to that abandoned place that they left you for years. This is what happened to you. They knew who you was, so they stripped you naked. And they took all your stuff, and then they drop you off at some random abandoned place that's desolate, filled with, these parasites, and left you there to get accustomed to that place, as if you were supposed to be there, as if this is normal. This is try to get you in a place of this is I'm supposed to be here. This is what's supposed to happen to me. This is my destiny. Like this is my path. This is my purpose. Try to really get you accustomed to that. While somebody else is walking and try to walk in your light. Remember, they could never took your light. That's why stuff never worked for them. They had to keep going back trying to steal from you, like, what makes you you, because you were still shining, in that dark place. Like you never changed of actually the identity that they tried to strip you from. The light never stopped working for you there. They were just trying to block you. They were doing their best. Like that's what all the money and investments came from, was trying to block you. Because they like, this person's still shining. This person's still gleaning. Like we put them over there and they still gleaning. So, they was paying people, block her this, block him that, block him this, block him that. Just paying folks to block you because you were still shining. Your light was still busting in them dark places that they try to drop you off and abandon you as. You know how they dropped Joseph in the pit? And how he was still shining and somebody found him in the pit? They was like, how did somebody find you? We dropped Joseph in the pit. How did somebody find him all the way down there? Joseph's light was still shining. He had said, hey, is anybody down there? Took him, washed him off, and took him and put him in the palace. Like, it's funny how royal stuff always find us. We end up still being in the palace. We end up still getting this. I'm talking about even in our pit days. When we were stuck, when we were sacrificed and dropped in the pit, left to R.I.P. They thought we wasn't going to come back. They thought there was no way. How would you going to come back from that? We stripped you. And we took everything from you. We stripped you, left you there in the pit. You wasn't supposed to redeem yourself. You were supposed to been laid down and never came back to life. You did like the unexpected. Because, any other person, they couldn't redeem themselves after that. And then, as you known of what you was, as you known of being programmed of what they had dociled you to, how you supposed to wake up to actually who you are and what you capable of? You see the methods that they did, the MK that they tried to pull on you, and then they left you in a place of what they programmed you to. So even though you looking around in this unusual place, you still programmed to that thing. This is what they tried to do to you. So it's a shocking that you have woken up today. They still trying to figure out, it doesn't make sense. How this person actually, came out of that. That's not normal. I'm talking about scientists and, folks with that does the works of psychology. They can't explain this. They can't explain what took place according to you, because some folks would just been accustomed to what they was programmed to and what they known. But you seem to break out of every spell that was cast on you. You would just you constantly broke out of it. And they'll come back and they'll do it again. They'll send somebody to come back in your life to do that same thing, and you will break out of it again. And they'll constantly send you to places so that you could go back to sleep and you could be programmed. And you, at one point you did, and then when they came back and visit you again, you broke out of that again. It's like you kept breaking out of, this program that they were trying to set before you. And they couldn't figure out why. Like, are you on a timer? Like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? So then they read Joseph. You guys got to read Joseph's story. It's very contrarily to yours. How the setups were. Yeah, somebody said setups. Yeah, the setups were just crazy because they knew that they can't stop you from waking up. So then they moved into a different method of trying to assassinate your character. Same thing they did Joseph, right? They sent that lady, that the man there, he was, king in the palace, and he had, y'all know the story. He had a wife, and she wanted to sleep with Joseph. Was it Joseph? It was Joseph, right? And he denied her. He was like, this lady crazy. No, like we have dignity. That's one thing we different from everybody else. We have dignity. We have integrity. If somebody helping us and trust us, we're gonna give you that same, reciprocate that same energy. This man came and helped me. This woman came and and helped me and trust me all up in I'm all up in this person's palace. No, I'm not about to sleep with his wife. I'm not about to sleep with his husband. That's crazy. And she felt some type of way and framed him as he was trying to come on to her. And they threw him in jail. And that's maybe the same thing that happened to you. You may have been accused. Somebody accused you of doing something that you did not do. And then people was framing you and was looking at you as being such a thing. And you didn't even do that. How many times somebody did that to you on your path? Yeah. We witnessed that. Folks lying on us. They know that they can't, it's nothing that they can actually say on us because, again, we roll with integrity. We have respect. We have value. We have self-worth. We have these characteristics to ourselves to where they can't catch us up on nothing. Not to say that we're perfect, but once again, we have that, we always had that. That's why folks are so easy to trust us because we carry that. We big banking on doing the right thing, reciprocating, good energy, to people, especially those who actually help us and actually are good people. We want to do right by those people, right? But then they sit back and they watch and they can't do nothing of framing and blackmailing. So they just lie. They're like, I'm just going to lie. If I can't say nothing about this upright man or this upright woman, I'm going to lie. I'm just going to spread lies. And I'm banking on people to believe it. Believe what I'm saying. Here come the smear campaign. And there people's crucifying you. People that you don't even know. They're like, what are they telling these people? Because whatever that you looking at me as or you try to come at me as, those were lies. Those weren't true. And you have to walk that. You have to pick up your cross and you have to walk that out. Like Joseph did. But then when it comes down, to the truth, it's always gonna come out. Like your name was always gonna be cleared by, the truth. So you say, you know what? I'm gonna stand 10 toes. I know the truth will come out. Now the truth will prevail. And it always do. Your name always get cleared. Every time they tried to smear your name or they tried to assassinate your character, the truth always come out because you stayed the same. When people lie on you, some folks, the people that, was big on believing, they're watching you. They're not just taking people's word. Some folks, the Pharisees or whatever that tried to, that believed or tried to assassinate, you to other people, what they did was they created a group of people who just watched and seen who you was. And when they was watching and they was seeing who you was, something didn't add up. They like, did they get the wrong person? Because this person is not moving as what you told me. As what you said to that this person is, and we was watching this person, nothing that you said of who they was or what they was doing, it's like a lie. Were you lying? Remember when they found out, about Joseph, and it came out that she was lying, and he started looking for Joseph in the jail, and it's just crazy, how the Most High will always clear our name. It's not you thinking it's over, but for some reason, the Most High will always make it clear of who you are to people. So that setup didn't work. Whatever they tried, far as of trying to frame you, it never worked. Because they couldn't stop your awakening. So they tried to frame you, right? And that didn't work. It always seems that you didn't succumb to whatever they were trying to paint a picture of you as being. You stayed the same. And you walked with integrity. You walked with dignity. You walked with self-worth. You never let that deteriorate. Folks is laughing. Folks is like looking at you a certain way of lies. You never change. You never let that run you off. You just stay 10 toes. I know who I am. I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? I really don't care of whatever folks is thinking or whatever folks are trying to point me as being. I know who I am. And guess what? The truth is going to set them free. Everybody is going to witness that they've been lied to, they've been deceived, and they're going to have to deal with karma. Because they took part in something that's an innocent person. You took part in trying to crucify someone that was innocent. They lied. This person didn't do nothing in whatever identity they tried to attach to make you guys see this person as being is a lie. So now you guys got to deal with some consequences for that. Remember, spiritual laws. When you're raging war and you trying to crucify an innocent person, just understand what's going to come back to you. Even witches tell them. They tell them, are you lying? Because if this person's an innocent person that you're doing this to, it's all hell you will have to pay. And they realize that the karma that's coming on them, they know you was innocent because of all the karma that's coming on them. So they know that, this person was innocent. You had us targeting, you had us doing all this stuff to an innocent person. Do you not understand what's going to come back to us? This person ain't even did nothing to us, didn't did nothing to you, didn't do nothing, period. This is what folks it's like, this is what stage that they're at right now, according to you. Remember, the truth is coming out about you. And folks is embarrassed that they took part in something that was all lies. But then again, I'm not going to take the light from you. You still stand 10 toes like you never change. Nobody could say that you ever change. Even though folks was lying about you, making smear campaigns about you, telling folks, you need to watch out for her. You need to watch out for him. I wouldn't go about, her if I were you. I wouldn't even think twice about him if I were you because he out here doing this and she out here doing that and, trying to frame you and all up in the dark web about you and they try to go out their way according to you. Right? And now folks is now witnessing that you stayed 10 toes through all of that. You never changed. It never shook in you. Like it didn't do nothing. You walked through that thing as if nothing was going on about you. You still was like, I know who I am. It don't matter, folks. It's going to come out. It's gonna come out who I am. You weren't shaking, you weren't moved. You stood 10 toes. You know, in the lion's den, when everybody was pointing at you, everybody was kiki and talking about you. It didn't bother you. It did nothing to you. They thought that was gonna break you down. Like, who could stand in the mix of that? Who can overcome that? You did not care about what folks were talking about. You either like me or you don't. That's just what you stood at that time. You was like, okay, if you feeling some type of way, you can go over there. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody pressuring you to be around me. You don't have to speak to me. I'm okay, ma'am, sir. You don't even gotta be with me. I'm okay, ma'am, sir. It's fine. Go over there. You know, and they trying to figure out, dang, that don't move you? Folks really think you this. Folks really think you did that. Don't care. I know, the thing is, I know who I am. This is what you're not understanding. It all comes down to me. I do what it is, according to. That's me. I control that. All this over here don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. You know, you believe bull crap, you are bull crap. You know? You are who you attend to. So we looking at everything as being trash. You know, you feed into that and you don't even know the actual truth and you feeding into it, you're trash. How you gonna get persuaded off of something that you don't even know? They never even knew you. They never even got a chance to even get to know you. Some folks didn't even ask you a question what was taking place according to you. They just jumped on the bandwagon. I don't want to deal with you at all. I don't want nothing to do with you at all. Let's separate the wheat from the tares. Let's get it out the way real quick. That's how you was moving. You was like, you know what? I'm glad you fed into that so that I know your character. You a messy one. You a toxic one. You a wicked one. To allow somebody to just tell you anything, even though you don't even know, you haven't even questioned it. You haven't even went to the horse to see, if it was legit. I don't want you in my life anyway. I don't want you a part of me. I don't want you near me. This shows me your true colors. This how you was moving at the time. Because they thought this was going to break you, but you was like, no, I'm just looking at people's true colors. So when the truth really do come out, there ain't no hiding these wolves in sheep clothing. They made it easy for you to detect the real from the fake. And it was just a lot of fake people that you was like, I don't care. I want y'all to go to the left. I don't want no fake people in my life anyway, so it don't mean me a can of beans how you feel about me anyway. I don't want you around me. I don't want you attached to me. They was like, wow, we got to come up with something else. Because this didn't go, this person, they just turned this around in the front of our face. We weren't expecting that they would come at it like this. Like every time they'll try to set something up, we'll look at it as it being a lesson of what not to partake in, what to partake in, separating. We'll do some type of divine intervention type stuff, and they'll be like, that's not what was supposed to happen. You wasn't supposed to look at it as if you're examining people. You were supposed to look at it as if, you backed up against the wall. Like you should feel, low about yourself. You should walk with your head down. Like you being overtaken. This is what we wanted. We wanted you to feel embarrassed. We're like, no, that's definitely not what it was. You kept showing up to places, smiling, laughing, confidence, stepping 10 toes, showing up. And they was like, they don't care? No, we don't. Nope. You stepped all over that. So they have to constantly keep coming up with different ways to get you up out of your identity, get you up out of who you are. And it was hard. It was very hard for them to do that, because in other people, that would have took somebody out. That would have broke them. But you know, you are like a whole dimension yourself. Like you are a whole world yourself, right? So it was kind of hard to take you up out of that, because it's like, this is how I was stepping ever since I was like 5 years old. You know, we really didn't have like a group with us, you know, like I was never a group type of person. Like I tried that, you know, and it didn't work for me. You know, I was like a force all by myself. You know, I work good in that nature. You know, when it comes to group, I'm not too well, but when I'm, you know, within myself and my force, it's very powerful. And I realized that, you know, and that's something that a lot of people can't do. They can't be a force by themselves. You know, they got to get people's validation. You know, they got to be in the group to feel some type of way. They got to hear people tell them who they is every day. We don't need that. And it don't mean a can of beans if you did. You know, I wouldn't feel no other way, because we just so solid in who we are. You know, we don't need those confirmations, those admirations. You know, we don't need them compliments. You know, we don't need, you know, a whole bunch of people around and feel like, oh, I'm somebody. It's like we walk around here with that in us already. So it's hard to break someone with that solid foundation that you walk with. You know, it's hard to break someone that has that inside, that solitude and that connection of all these different values. They trying to figure out, like, how is that? You know, like, how we gonna deal with somebody like that? Far as trying to take down, far as trying to destroy. You know what I'm saying? It couldn't, because the things that they was doing, that's not something that you even look for anyway. Remember, you are a force by yourself. You used to be in this force by yourself. You used to walking the grounds of, you know, down here with this force by yourself. I mean, actually nothing added. And they tried to program you of taking you off of that. How you gonna do that, ma'am, sir? When it's embedded in you. I'm talking about like it makes up you. That's how you was created. That's not something you can break. That's not something that you can just like crumble and destroy. You're made out of those attributions. That's what you're made out of. You can't separate from that, because you're made out of that. They still trying to figure out, you know, how can they separate that from you? And you can't. You can't. That's how you made it through all of it. All them trials and tribulations, how they tried to, you know, really break you. You know? But the thing is, you put us in the place, you know, in the places that you put us in, and how they did us, that was exactly what we wanted. That's how we strive. You know, that's how we, you know, we activate and we grow. And exactly how they did. According to us. That's how we elevated. They don't understand, like, that's how we was made, in those ways that they tried to handle us as being like we're gonna break. No. You put us in our stomping ground. You know? You helped. You did more helping than more breaking. Yeah, definitely can't break what's unbreakable. Remember, we're like, it's hard to explain, but it's really like, y'all know, like the sun, how it's by itself, like it's never with nothing. And then it's like when the moon come, The sun removes the moon. Like, I got this by myself. Thank you. Go over there. Go over there in your spot. This is my spot over here. You like the sun. You like kind of how the sun got its own force, got its own movement. You know what I'm saying? Got its own little, the privacy and, territory. That's how we is. We like, man, we love this. Thank you. You would put me in a dominion by myself. Okay, yeah, I love this. And then every time somebody try to come in, and you like, nah, go over there. We kicking people out. They ain't even got to separate from us. We departing. We letting them know that this is my area. You know what I'm saying? I was placed here, maybe by a parasite, but this is my dominion. This is it. And you showing up, and you making that thing look good. They like, this is not supposed to happen. They weren't supposed to be up here shining in this area that we put them in, like with nobody in here, ain't nobody even in there. We loving it. They ain't even got nobody around. We took all the people. We paid them to betray them. They ain't got nobody, but they still loving it. Are you supposed to break down? So and so and left you. We hired a parasite to take stuff from her, take something from him, but they love it. We love it. They smell it even more. They not understanding that you took something toxic. You helped us out. You took the toxic and the trash away from us. Thank you. Now you got to deal with it. We thank you. Because it was coming down to the end of this person and this place or this thing anyway. The things that they thought that they took in, that was a help. That was a headache that you took. That was getting on our nerves. So thank you. Because I'm telling you, they had folks that came in to try to be, to tempt people that you was connecting with, or, that you was going to, probably become one with or business with, whatever that was, they were sending people to betray, not betray, but, take that away from you, But the thing is, they helped you because that person was a distraction. That person was a headache. That person was getting on your nerves. You was about to do it anyway. That was supposed to end. That was a headache. You know how we move. We are a dominion of solitude. We like peace. We in a high vibration, being. So when it's like low vibrations start coming in, it irritate us. So please take it away. That's what we were saying. Take it away. Thank you. When we realized what was happening, we're like, thank you. Because I really didn't know how to put it, how to explain to this thing that, they gotta go. So you came and you once again, you helped me again. Man, I thought that that would have broke that person. I thought that this person would have been broken down, crying, feeling some type of way about themselves as if they're not enough, they're not valued, all this they wanted you to feel. And you run around here smiling even more. You glowing up even more. You like, thank you. You shining even more. Like, how is this person shining and smiling and happy? What that was supposed to break them. So they not realizing, what is you? Because the things as it being so, as what a person would feel and go through, you did the opposite. You did the total opposite. You like, so do you ever get sad? Do you ever get like you feel like, do you ever feel like you don't have it together? Like, we want to see that. We want to see your low point. And it seemed like every time they try to seek and want to get a reaction of us, of us in our low, we get higher. It's like that wasn't supposed to raise them up. That was supposed to actually break them and crush them down. But you did the opposite once again. And they all happy. They all watching it like, what in the world? They happy? You said they was where? He said, do they? Yeah, like, the thing is about us is solitude is our human nature. We love solitude. That is our, like, when we share ourselves with somebody else or with a place or a thing, that's big. Anybody would tell them that. If they see you with somebody, like, oh my gosh, she really love him. Like, he really loves her. Or he really loved this job. Or he really loved, she really loved this job or hobby. Because if they taking you out of your solitude, people know that about you. They like, you can sit with yourself for days and just be in la la land. Like, really be in some, like, dreamy, just really high moment. Right? It's big. That's life. That is life to you. They don't understand that the things that makes them feel like in prison, you love it. Like, when you around a lot of people and you just in the mix, it's like, I wouldn't say it's like punishment, but it's really like, it's like pulling teeth. Because it's like, you really are sharing some rich energy with people that you don't know. Like, you would want to share that with somebody you love. Like, okay, like, I actually do love, him, her, or fam and this, so I don't mind sharing this energy. I don't mind, sharing my, frequency and we having a good time. But with just random folks, it's not really giving. You rather share, that's why you be in solitude and you allow that to overtake you and you be in a bliss with your rich energy and your high, beautiful feeling vibration. You just sitting it and you just in la la land, just loving every moment. That's your nature. They be trying to put you in that as if it's punishment for you. That's life to us. We love it. That's our thing. That's not punishment. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, when you do see us with somebody and we sharing that, that's big. That's really big. That's not something to be taken for granted. Even people know it. People be like, oh man, this must be something serious. Because if she, she's sharing that and he's sharing that, I'm talking about with friends. I'm talking about with a relationship. I'm talking about with a business partner or with family. That's not something that we just give. We don't just give that away. That's big. So, again, it didn't play out the way they wanted it to play out because they don't understand that, we big on who we want to give stuff to. That's not something that we just go around here giving. That's why we love to stay in solitude. We do. I was like, hey, she always be, in a bliss by herself. He always be in a bliss by himself. Yes, ma'am, sir. Yes. Definitely do. Because I'm not just about to be connected just with anybody and give this to. No. That's not how we rolling. And, it took a lot for folks to understand that. Now you think a lot of people had to catch the boot. And the Most High, he's very protective about us as well. He know who we are, and we can't just connect ourselves around anybody. Anyway, we know that. That would affect our frequency for one. And it will bother our energy. It will bother our energy will become defective. We'll have to go back and cleanse our energy and take spiritual baths and anoint ourselves. It's too much work. We like, man, I'd rather just stay in, solitude and take on this bliss until I find some, like-minded individuals. I'm not about to continue on having to cleanse and clean myself because people coming in my energy and trying to, stank it up. This is ridiculous. We ain't got time for this. We about to eat up this bliss. And then until we get, till we can reciprocate, energies from like-minded individuals like ourselves. But that's degrading. That's downplaying us. Going around folks who, is not where they need to be according to walking equally yoked. That's a downer for us. We got to do a lot of stuff to get ourselves back up when we do that. We know that. We got to take part in a lot of stuff. We don't have, that's a lot of energy when we ain't even got to go through that. If we would have stayed in our lane. Folks come, hi, can I come in? No, it's not like that. You can't just come in. You can't. I got to examine you first. Just like the Most High told Moses. He said, man, don't come over here with your shoes on. You walking on holy ground. You got to take your shoes off. I don't know what you packing when you coming over here in my presence. I don't know what you bringing. You're dirty. You got all that filth from over there with Pharaoh in Egypt. You can't come over here in my presence with that. Because the thing is, I'm going to get affected by that. I got to cleanse. I got to clean up. I got to do all this when you leave. No. It's a lot of risks that I'm not willing to take. That's why we so, we picky. We're picky because we understand that that's going to affect us in the long run. They're not going to get affected. We are. And then we got to go through this whole little cleansing mechanism to get our presence back how it was. And people coming in like that. They know what they doing. They coming in dirty. And they know they filthy. And they know you clean. And you're not just clean because of it. It's because you were strict about you. You were strict about you. That's how you kept your stuff clean. Folks coming in there, knocking on the door, dirty. No, ma'am, sir. Where's the enemy? So he could take this thing away. Any enemy around the corner? They can figure out who trying to talk to me, so they could take this thing away. We be waiting for the enemy. We be like, hold up, this enemy, is he around so he can go ahead and take this away too? Nah, this is not accepted. This thing, they ain't even try to clean themselves up, and they be knocking on your door. They ain't even try to clean themselves up. It's disrespectful. You know how much work you put in yourself? And they ain't even did nothing. They knocking, hey sir, hey ma'am. They ain't did no work. They coming to you to try to stank up your stuff. Have you dirty, unclean. That's not good. You gotta watch people who do that. Remember how far you came. You gotta match. You gotta match, reciprocate what you giving. It's always a reciprocation. You always gotta look at yourself, and then you gotta look in the mirror of what's coming back to you. And if it's not there, it ain't there. You got to, because folks will literally, they will rob you. They've been robbing you. You give a lot. Because you put in a lot. It's not that you just, this just happened. Oh, this just happened. No, you put in work. You put in a lot of work. And people see that. And they come in and they try to capitalize off of the work that you put in. When on the other hand, they have nothing to offer you. They ain't got nothing to offer you but trash, uncleanliness, ungodliness, everything that's Don't let them people knock on your dang door and act as if you gonna open it. The Most High always check people. He said, you stay right there. This is holy ground. This is something that's real. I worked hard putting this thing together. You can't walk up in here like that. You should even feel some type of way of trying to walk in here like that. You shouldn't even feel comfortable doing that. But I guess everybody gonna try you. Everybody gonna try you. They don't care how it look. They gonna try you regardless. You can't even bank it off. You can't even bank it off of, oh, they gon' respect something that's good. You know? They see the difference. No, they gonna try you anyway. They're gonna try you anyway. Yeah, definitely. My door is closed in the public. Yeah, I don't even use public bathrooms. I'm telling you, I will literally hold it until I get home or somewhere that I know that, that's mine, that I created as a way of, using the bathroom. I don't like that. I do not. That creep me out for real. I do not. Anybody who know me, they'll tell you, no, she's not gonna use that public bathroom. Or I even if I'm at certain people's house, I gotta actually know you to use your bathroom. I will sit there and wait, or I'll leave. I would not sit in nobody else's toilet. Or even if I stand, you know how we be, not sit down, but I don't even feel comfortable doing that, man. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that either. I just don't feel comfortable. It's just not in me to do that. Somebody said we build a brick. Yeah, no, we're not. They be trying to slide in. They be trying to go through different ways to get in. You ain't put no work in. You gotta reciprocate what you trying to get. They don't put not even a tip like of work. Like, not even a drip. And they be trying to get in. They be trying to, man, no. It will always be a no. If you ain't putting no work in, and if you ain't even grown of any sort, no, ma'am, sir. It will always be a no. Stop doing that. This is crazy. It is crazy. And then, because it's crazy because they know what's good, but they don't want to do no good in them. They know they want good, but they don't want to do no good that has to do with them. They just want to be attached to good, but they don't want to be good. And that's a problem. You're never going to actually get something good. You're going to get something just like you. They don't want nothing just like them. They want something good. They don't want nothing just like them. They tried that. They tried to go get something that something was good like them, and they didn't want that. So what should that tell you? You need to work on yourself. If you don't want what's you, because you're attracting exactly who you is. If you don't want that, you need to start working on yourself, ma'am, sir. Because you're going to attract something just like you. Remember, you're going to attract something that's just like you. Now, if you don't like every time something come your way, you like, oh, no, I don't want this, then you need to do better. According to what's in. Because that's what's coming to you. What's in. No, I'm going to try to go over there and I want that. Deny. Ma'am, sir, deny. Then you think that somebody is trying to, trying to do something to you. Like you trying to just make them feel some type of way. No, you need to work. This is not equally yoked. Nothing that you giving is what you trying to receive. Why you think you gonna shorthand somebody? That's like me giving you $50, and you say you gonna pay me back, and you end up giving me $10. You think somebody gonna let that slide? Like that's cool? That's not cool. They want the same. They giving you the same. They want the same back. What's wrong with the world? What is wrong with this world? I feel like it's something going on. They still putting stuff in the air. This ain't even rocket science. It's like, man, okay, I'm not mad at myself that I want better, but I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna come up. I'm gonna do better. Why not think like that? Okay, I want that. So let me go and separate myself and get myself together. Because I know I don't want that. That's some stuff, common sense type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what they own. They just want to take advantage. I'm telling you, they just want to go and they just want to stink up your stuff. You allow them folks to come in your house and start stinking up your stuff. Get that stinky, smelly bull BS away from here. You know, that stuff ain't invited. That stuff ain't cool. You work hard. You know, trying to, be the best that you can be. And actually something that's pleasant. And they coming in, with toxin, all this toxic and all this pollution. Then nobody, what are you doing? Ain't nobody accepting that. Go get yourself together. There's a lot of resources out here for you to get it together. All it is time we got. What else are you doing? All it is time. Get yourself together. Don't come knocking at nobody else's things and you know you ain't bringing nothing to it. But toxic, poison, trash. Yeah, and people be sitting up there just allowing folks to just do that to them. Just come in and out and just stink up their stuff all day, every day. Just allow, and then they look at you and they like, oh, she thinks he think he just say what you want to say. Say what you want to say, but go run that over there. Don't even come looking over here. If this ain't what you about, don't even come looking over here. I'm talking about the ones who have their own operation, who just allow anybody to come in and do whatever. They want to look down at you like, yeah, say whatever you want to say. It's not running like that over here. So maybe we too different. We two different people. Stop trying to compare yourself over here. If that's what you running over there, run over there. Run that over there. What you over here looking over here for? If this ain't even what you even about, are you running over here? They got something to say to you according to how you run your thing. Worry about you and how you run your thing over there. It's crazy. Like you supposed to get some type of kudo points of how they thinking like, oh, they one up on you because they got folks running in and out of they. Girl, lady, sir, if that's what you do, that's what you do. Keep it as that. Folks is looking at you and see how you run your operation. It's crickets, cause ain't nobody accepted. Nobody don't want to do the work. Ain't nothing going on around here. I be the only vessel operating in going to and fro in this operation. Folks be knocking. They just gonna keep knocking. They gonna be at the door. You ain't getting in. You know how you coming. Ain't nobody accepting that. You know how you coming. You is not getting in. I promise you, ma'am, sir. You not getting in like that. Why you think who you guys think we got it from? We got it from the Most High. He always check people at the gate. And you ain't coming in like that. You was not getting in like that. It about like 2 or 3 people that was up actually in there. Everybody, it was thousands and millions of people outside the gate. Just, he ain't gonna let us in. He ain't gonna get it. We can't get in. No! Just like your gate. You probably got like thousands of people trying to get in. Like, oh, okay, so he ain't go. No. Go over there and go work on yourself. Go, you got a lot to figure out. You got a lot to get together. Get yourself together. Nobody's saying that you can't. But you're not you can't come in like that. You can't come in like that. Yeah, they just so used to people just putting up with just any type of thing. And we're not doing that. We're not going to do that. Folks really got to start getting themselves together. They should have some type of some type of standards to themselves at least. Some folks don't. They don't have nothing. They just want you to just deal with it. And that's not the case. That's why they see us and we be in our own little bliss, overtaken, by our bliss. And, until we run into, once again, a person, place, or thing that reciprocate that same thing and equally yoked. And it's up from there. But until then, these folks got to learn. Lessons got to be given out. Classes got to be in session. You got to get yourself together. You have to. This is what you came here for anyway. To experience, to learn the lesson, and to grow. You can't be up here just still stinking up, the universe. Folks is around here just stinking up the universe. God's given land. It's like, when you gonna clean yourself up? That's a word. That is a word. Now, you guys you divine ones out here, don't feel bad. Do not feel bad. When you got strict guidelines and you're not letting folks in your gates, do not feel bad. You go about your business. You said what you said. You go about your business. Because you understand, they know what they're doing. They know what they're giving you. What nasty, dirty cup. They going like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you better get that dirty cup out of my face. I don't want that. Don't ever come around me and present that to me. That's disrespectful. I would never do that to you. If I know what I'm bringing is not efficient for somebody, and I'm just bringing a bunch of just a whole dark cloud in this person's life, and I've seen how you worked hard to get yourself back to how you want it to be. I mean, worked hard night and day, trying to build your foundation and trying to get you how you want it, your life to be according to yourself. That's disrespectful. And folks know what they be doing. They know it. They know what they doing. They not good. Nothing good about that. It's wicked and it's evil. They know how hard, they knew about your past and how you had to fight, a whole bunch of things that came your way so that you can do better, so that you can get better. And they come in there with this dirty, nasty cup trying to offer you that bull crap. And then get mad when you don't accept it. I don't give a dang. I said no, that's not going to happen. It's crazy. Some of you guys got soulmates. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too big on a twin flame thing. I just say, it's more of a soulmate. You guys got a bunch of those, right? And you guys were on the same little page. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys were on the same level. So, it was a point of time where, some of you guys were supposed to come together and y'all were supposed to help each other grow or whatever, right? And I'm talking about you guys had a bunch of soulmates. I'm not talking about one. You guys had a lot, right? That you guys came across in y'all lifetime where you guys like at one point y'all was going through the same struggle, on that same struggle of temptation and addictions and, of self-worth, of trying to find yourself and find, respect within yourself so that you could, come up, and you guys supposed to help each other. But for some reason, this person was slacking and they were just letting whatever that they were supposed to overtake them. And you were bossing up. Like, you were just like bodying it. Like, every time something come your way, you will body that thing. Like, move out my way. I'm not off that no more. I don't want to do that no more. I want better for myself. I see myself, with better, doing better, being better, the whole nine, right? And then you slowly departed, start getting distance more and more and more and more till it was like non-existent. Except this person was watching you from a distance. You wasn't. You had so much you had to overcome. Like, everything was coming at you from each direction and you had to stay focused and you had to stay vigilant so that you could overcome, these trials and tribulations and these lessons. I mean, it was so much, right? And this person was like, looking at you like, oh, I still got a space no matter what though. Like they knew that you was climbing ladders and you was climbing mountains and all this stuff where they was supposed to do. Because y'all had a mission at one point, a contract where y'all was going to help each other in doing this thing, right? But they had took the other direction and went actually indulging in those things that they were supposed to overcome. But in their head, in their mind, they thought that even though, I'm just going to allow that person to do whatever that they going to do, but I'm going to watch them from afar because I still got a seat. I still got a seat, within, their life. Reality check. Reality check. When they tried to come, ma'am, sir, with that dirty cup, it was like, you had to tell it, you have to let them know. You're not getting in. I don't care if you was a soulmate that we had a contract with. The contract has already had expired. You was cut. When you didn't do what you was supposed to do, you was cut. The contract was cut. They always try to throw that contract back in your face. The contract was cut when you didn't do what you were supposed to do, and the plug start getting divided. As farther as we got separated from each other, the plug unplugged. You got unplugged. You didn't understand what this was about. Folks got left behind. You can get left behind quick. The Bible even speaks on folks who got left behind because they wanted to stay where they was at. We read about that in many chapters. That folks had to turn their back and had to keep going. And folks got turned into a pillow of salt. You don't want to get left behind. You want to do what you need to do so you can go. You can keep going. It's easy to get left behind. This ain't a game. Especially when you come down here as a person that's supposed to, grow. A lot of you guys took on that path. And you guys had a bunch of soulmates that you ran across in this lifetime that y'all was supposed to piggyback off of each other, motivate each other, inspire each other. When one person falling, you supposed to be like, hey, and you tried to do that. But this person was like, I don't want no part in this no more. I don't want to be, growing, and I don't want to be, take part in this contract. Okay, you're like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to see you on the flip side. But then again, they seen you from afar, and they was like, because in their head, they tried to be slick. I'm telling you, they tried to do all this that they wanted to do, but in their head, they was like, I still got a seat right there, though. I could come anytime I want to, though. And then they had a reality check when they had hit that door and they started knocking and you didn't let that person in. They was like, wow, you gonna betray me like that? And no, you had a job to do down here, ma'am, sir. You knew what the contract had stated. And when you didn't hold your end of the bargain, you was gonna get cut. We read about that in the Bible, how folks got cut because they didn't want no part in it anymore. So they had to get cut because they would have had pulled you, as if you a crab and you all in a bucket. They would have kept pulling on you and kept keeping you behind. So you had to cut, you had to cut it so you can move forward. I'm about to take off. I don't know what you doing over here, but I see myself, I keep going. This what was the ordeal down here. This is what we said that was going to come to pass. You got caught up in whatever you got caught up in. That's your business. That's your business. That's your prerogative. That ain't got nothing to do with me. You do this every lifetime. You leave these karmics behind because they can't keep up. So you end up going forward, you end up cutting the contract, you end up cutting the cord, and then they end up constantly keep showing up. You trying to figure out why do you keep showing up? Are you lost? Because remember, in order to come up here is work that has to be done. You're not being rude, you're not being disrespectful, but you can't cut corners. You can't. You cannot cut corners, because what's going to happen is if you allow them back in, remember, they're going to stink up what you had built. They're going to stink up and they're going to tear down what you had built. And they know this. They know that that's what they're going to do. They know this is what's going to happen. But they need to understand that's why you can't come in. And you was motivating them. You was warning them. You was giving them the enlightening, the enlightenment, the edification that they needed, when you were trying to, help them move forward. But then they turned into an op. They turned into the opposite. They ran into the snake and became an opposition to you. So you had to close that door real quick. Because remember, folks who turn to the op, they lazy. They don't want to do no work. They don't want to work for it. They don't want to actually build a solid foundation so that, things can actually work for a lifetime. They want to do it. They want to try to take the easy road and sell out and act as if they could go around the corner to where they ain't got to do nothing. But you see these folks and you see how they look so bad. They don't look like they don't look well. They not doing well. So they coming to you. But no disrespect, ma'am, sir. But it's work. We're going to send you right back into the work that you did not do. Going to send you right back to that thing that you ignored. It's crazy, y'all. But I'm here to tell y'all, do not feel bad about the decisions that you had made. You made the right decision. And understand that when you are accepting people, places, and things in your gates, understand it has to match you. It has to match you. You can't just allow just anything for the sake of however you feel about that person or that place or that thing. They have to actually match your cup. You looking in that cup and if you ain't seeing what you liking, you gotta keep it pushing, ma'am, sir. You gotta let them know this is not acceptable. This is not acceptable at all. I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what it is that you got going on, but this ain't acceptable. I'm not going to take this at all. I don't have to. Not the fact that it's an option. It's just I don't have to. And folks should be ashamed of themselves coming at you trying to give you that cup anyway, that dirty cup with all type of just BS in there. It's crazy. But this is where we at. A lot of you guys, y'all had to turn these folks and turn to a pillar of salt. You had to keep it pushing. So if you run into these folks again, you could tell them exactly what's on your mind. Because they already know how they coming. How they coming at you like. They already know how they shorthanding you. They ain't giving you your full change. They trying to shorthand you. And, they trying to manipulate it, downplay it. And that's not something that you want. No, ma'am, sir. No. I'd rather keep it pushing. Thank you. You should have did the work. You know what I'm saying? You should have stopped playing. When you had that opportunity in that time that was given to you, you should have put some work in it. Like you did. You weren't playing. You put that work in. You overcame what needed to be overcame. Ain't no jumping ship because you got to where you need to go to. Now it's like, oh, okay, let me go back and let me get up in here. Right time, right timing. You gonna have a reality check. You gonna have a cold reality check. It's gonna hit you right here. You ain't gonna know what to do. They've been watching you from afar and seeing you climbing all the mountains, seeing you going through all these storms and all these nightmares and fighting all these Goliaths and, going, just really beasting. They just watch that whole thing. And then they knocking. Once it's over, they knocking. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? I see you made it. Huh? People is crazy out here, y'all. They had that. I don't know what they be thinking. Like, oh my gosh, like their frame and their mindset is out of this world. May I tell you, and some folks are gonna be very, highly disappointed at what they thought was going to happen. All that watching and all that you plotting, that's in vain. Because the result of what is actually going to be, you're not going to, you're not going to be ready for. This person has outgrown you. You will let this person outgrown you so far to they probably not even going to recognize you when you do show up. You gonna let things get swayed too far. You should have been, and you seeing them going, you should, I gotta catch up. You should have been like this. They sat here and just sat there and watch you just. And they like, oh, hey, look like you made it up there. How you doing? It's like, who is you? Like, you can't even recognize this. You can't even recognize this. You gonna be like, wow, this is a shame. You knew you should have did the work. You knew you should have got and did what you needed to do. This is crazy. You done waited till it got way out of hand. You waited till distance was just way too far. They waited till you got all the way above the rim. Hold on, you guys. Yeah, they waited till you got above the rim. Why did you wait that long? You should have been reciprocated. You should have been doing the work. Ma'am? Sir? Well, hey, it is what it is. Hold on. Yep, it is what it is. We good. Hopefully y'all got the good confirmation that y'all needed to get, from this message. Hopefully you feel enlightened. You feel like you got edified by, who you are, what they tried to do according to your true identity and what the Most High called you to do down here. You beasted everything. You mastered, your op, trying to target you and try to put you in a box and trap you and try to strip you from your identity. You beast that. You overruled that. You conquered that. That was never supposed to happen. You even overcame by yourself when you did have partnership that was supposed to help you through this. Okay? They turned their back. They joined with the op. They didn't want to put in the work as you did, so they separated from you because they thought it would have been better somewhere else and it would have been easier. And you did it on your own. You beset. Now you got the same folks who tried to separate from you and turn their back, to you, trying to jump on board and trying to jump on ship, a negative. But again, you beset. You just came to just rule. It's like when you touched down on earth, you came to just rule over everything, body everything that they put you in, you just bodied it. You overcame it, you mastered it, and you walked off and did the same in all these other traps, all these other setups. You did the same thing. And you didn't let nobody persuade you other. I'm talking about the ones that you came down here to be on your team, to be as a team to you. They separated and departed from you. You said, I don't care. It ain't gonna make me a can of beans. I'm gonna force all by myself. And you continue. And you delivered every single time. By yourself. It didn't matter if you had, if they was there, because they tried to take the people, your soulmates away. They tried to target your soulmates that was supposed to be there to help you, and they thinking like, okay, if we take the people that's supposed to help them, they gonna fall. They gonna break. They ain't gonna be able to do this by themselves. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. You said, okay, if they want to turn their back and they want to betray, I'm gonna stand 10 toes. I'm gonna stand 10 toes, and I'm gonna beast this by myself. It don't matter if you with me. It don't matter if you against me. The show must go on. The show ain't gonna stop. If I have the Most High on my side, if I have Christ on my side, we still gonna beast through this. We still gonna go. You thought that was supposed to stop? You thought this person was gonna stop something? No. I'm actually gonna get stronger by it being myself. And that's exactly what happened. Folks thought, oh, I'm gonna take this from her. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take this, take that from him. He gonna fall. It actually even made you even stronger. You actually build more momentum. You actually build more consistency, integrity. Everything that was empowerment, you start evolving into that force, to where you was able to climb over things that folks found it difficult to do. You was doing that overnight, based off of what was even taken from you. It seemed like as much as things was taken from you, it's more things start adding on to you that helped you get through. Come on, Spirit. They didn't want to see that. They want to see you break. Like, man, we done that for this person to break. Not to get more empowered. Not to build more stamina. And this person that betrayed you sitting there like, well, I thought that as I removed myself, that was going to break this person. That was the goal. You was going to be a thorn to my side, probably. Maybe you had to go. Maybe you was gonna be the burden that was gonna keep you down. Maybe that was gonna be the person that stopped you from growing. You had to be removed. Cause right after you got removed, what happened? It was like skyrocket from here. The sky was the limit. Why, when you got removed, that's when things start shifting. Have you witnessed the people that thought that, the devil thought that was going to be your downfall if they removed that person? Why, when that person place or thing got removed, why did things start actually moving for you? You actually start coming up. How you think they feel when they seen you progress when they left? When they got removed. That's to show you that you was really a some type of a hold. You wasn't no contribution. You wasn't something that I needed in the first place. You were showing everybody this. All these traps, all these setups they tried to pull on you as if that was going to turn you, away, or that was going to have you just sitting stagnant with your head down. You bust that, you bodied all that. It built you to go even further. That's why today they still trying to figure out who you is. Because everything that would have broken somebody, it empowered you. It did the opposite when it was supposed to actually destroy you. Like, no bag to life. It was never going to be that. According to what they had put you in. But it's like you didn't care about none of that. None of that would have been a difference to you. That you looked at them as if I'm still gonna do it. don't care. I was never lost in that anyway. I came down here to become my greater self. And I'm at like a competition with myself. Because I told myself one thing, and I'm in a competition to make that thing happen. It's really not about the outer. It's about me against me. I need to prove something to myself. This wasn't about people, places, and things. You know, this is something that you wanted to do according to oneself. This is what people didn't understand. That's why they can never figure out, you know, why you ain't never broke. Because you actually was improving within oneself. You talk to yourself every day. You know you can do that. You know you got the strength to do that. You know if you move this way, you can do that. This is what you was doing according to us. You weren't like, I need to call so-and-so to help me with this, or I have to figure out if this person is coming or if this person. No, you talking to yourself. I'm relying on you. This is what you were talking to yourself in the mirror. I'm relying on you to make this happen. You got to show up and you got to do this. You got to go down here, even though you tired. I understand that. But you still got to dig deep. Get dressed. Go down there. Make that thing happen. This is what you was doing according to yourself. You weren't unreliance of nobody. You didn't even come down here for a alliance. This is what they didn't understand. You're not a person that rely on anybody. If you needed help, you knew the person you looked up to get help. That's the Most High. And then you put in that works according to what he had said and what he had given you to make it happen. This is what they don't understand. That's their motives. They rely on people. You know, they build alliances and they rely on those alliances. And that's why they never go further and they never go far, because they put their hope in man. That's something we don't do. And I'm talking about mankind. You don't do that. Because the Bible states that what? They could deceive you any given time. And you just be out. You don't know what to do. But if you are relying on oneself, you understand that, hey, I can always keep forward. I can always keep going forward. When I'm relying on myself, I know what I'm capable of. How can I disappoint myself? How can I disappoint myself when I'm showing up for myself? This is what you learn. You learn quick in age. You know, even your parents try to get you to rely on them. You are like, thank you, I appreciate you, but I'm gonna do it myself. I need to learn. I need to learn how to do this, so I will not have to keep depending on you. Because I don't want to want to have myself in a situation according to you. You can just say no at any given chance. You've been saying yes for the past week or so, and then on my time of need, I ask you again, you say no. Now what I'm gonna do? You get what I'm saying? This is something when you rely on someone, they have the choice to do it or not do it. But if you're relying on yourself, you got control over how many times you want it. Or whatever you want. This is what they don't understand, how we can rebuild ourselves over and over and over again when we fall, because we are the foundation. We made sure that, hey, if I fall, I got me. I got me to get back up. And this is how easy it is for you to fall and you come back to life, and you fall 1,000 times, you could come back, because I am my foundation. It's not nothing. It's not as if it's nothing underneath me. There's a whole platform underneath me that keep me going back up. Because I built that. this is something that they don't understand. They expect you to keep relying on other people that's going to betray you. These are the people they want you to rely on, that they paid to betray you. They want you to be, they want them to come in like, like, yo, just angel, like, yo, someone that's supposed to just sweep you up off your feet, and then understand they paid to betray you. Once you get comfortable and once you get trustworthy of this person, here comes the betrayal. And then it's like, what else do I do? I have nothing else going on. I don't have anything. I haven't even learned anything. I don't even know how to drive to even get away. You don't want to be in that predicament. And that's not even your character. You don't rely on from people. It's like you here, you're not. You leave, you go. It doesn't stop nothing. You're not moving nothing for you just thinking like, you have that role of stopping something that's supposed to, break you down. Like if I don't do this, or if I don't like that, like that's gonna be like a big value that you have to pay. No. You can do whatever you want. The show is still gonna go on, ma'am, sir. Understand that. You're not. You're not held hostage for being here, or you being here or you leaving is gonna make a difference. It's not. We give folks choices. You want to or you don't want to. It's the show's still going to go on. This is what they don't like about you. Because that doesn't give them the security of any control. And if you want to have that much control over somebody, that's not someone that you even want to be in contact with. If they're trying to be in your life to gain some type of control. You shouldn't want nothing to do with that person or that place or that thing. If they're looking for control, some type of control to have over you, that's the character of the seed of the snake, the snake seed, because that's all he wants. That makes him feel better, when he's gaining control over people. This is the reason why the snake is always obsessed with us, because he can't get that control that he wants, over us, that he craves. This snake craves control over us, and this is a creation that he can't, because we are our own, we are our own, stature, of abundance, of anything. It starts with us. It doesn't start with another person. It starts with us and it ends with us. That's how the Most High created us. And that's why folks can't stand us, because, we don't give them that leeway to do that to us. Like, oh, if it's I can break her, I can break him. It's none of that. It's none of that. It's like, hey, if you decide to leave, ma'am, you decide to leave, sir, go ahead and do that. But just know that this show is going to go on. This boat is going to keep boating. This ship is going to keep shipping. This car is going to stay in auto cruise control. It's going to keep cruising. Rather you in it or rather you not. We're not forcing you to be a part of this. But again, the setups and the traps of you trying to bind someone, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. We don't link together with people, places, and things based off of, trying to, get them to be a attribution, to whatever we got going on. No, that's not what we link up with people about. We link up, and we connect with people because they're like-minded, like ourselves. We see something valuable in that person or worthy in that person, like ourselves. That's why. It ain't got nothing to do with, we trying to get you to, rely on you for something. No, we can move around ourselves. If that's the case, we know the energy, we know the hard working that we are. We could put that energy and that work in within ourselves. That's not what we do when it comes to people, places, and things. It really drives our attention. Like, oh, that's interesting right there. I want to be a part of that. That interests me. Not, oh, I'm relying on that. I need that thing because I want to come up and I want to do that. We got our own dominion that we are operating in. Many dominions that we put work in to get it to a place that we want to get it. We get the energy for it. We got the light for it. We got everything that it needs for it to operate in a way that it needs to operate, without a person or with a person. Don't matter. They can't stand us because we move like this. We're like a whole world by ourselves. And we move that thing exactly how a person would move it if they had thousands of people in it. But it's just one of us. And we moving that thing. Just moving it. And it's just us. But folks want us to rely on somebody, and we don't need to. We wasn't created like that. Now, if we want to, partner with someone, you will have your world and I'll have my world. We'll just come together in two worlds. It won't be that, oh, I'm trying to overtake your world, or, you need me for your world. No, you'll just be, you have your world, I have mine, we come together. Two worlds, like two worlds coming together. But it's still going to be, this person's still going to be operating their world. And you still going to be operating your world. That's how it is with divine ones. We not the little, we the biggest. We a whole force by ourselves. We move things by ourselves. But let me get off of here. You got, oh my, it's 10. I'm not sure what it is, what it is on your end, but I know we started at like 8, so it had to be like 2 hours. I give it like 2 hours because I don't want to do too much, But we have been on here for like 2 hours, so that's good. That's good motion. That's really good. It's good edifying messages, to that you guys can go about y'all day and with your head held high, like, just the biggest. I conquered. I did what I said that I was gonna do. And then you didn't need no help. The crazy part about it is you didn't need no help. The Most High knew you didn't need you didn't need no help. He knew the people that was gonna betray you when you came with people. He knew that the folks that was gonna betray you. He knew that you was probably gonna have to do this by yourself. But he knew how he built you. He knew that you was gonna beast through it. You too big to be trapped. You way too big. But yeah, you guys stay fearfully, you guys stay wonderfully made. Okay, let's go. This thing.